Hi, so I want to talk about the 3 steps it takes to create a homeowners association or condo association. So you might be in a condo complex where it's very small. It might be 2 owners up to maybe 10 owners, and you want to self-manage your own homeowners association. So there's really 3 simple steps to actually get that started. So the first thing is actually to apply for a employee identification number. So that is your tax ID that allows you to get a bank account, but also to do business. So that's really the first step. The second step is really to get those bank accounts. And then the third step is really to actually have a place where you keep all of these records. So I have started a homeowners association, and for the last 4 years, the other 3 owners and myself has been managing this homeowners association, self-managed out of the Google Drive account. So you'll notice I created a Google Drive account here. So what you'll have to do is you're going to have to create a Gmail email account for the homeowners association. You can have the username that is the condo trust itself. So for example, it might be Willow Trust, whatever the street name is or whatever the building name is, for the Google account. And you'll notice here we have it set up in a yearly annual way because that's how we keep track of our finances. I also have a master document folder. So you can see here there's a lot of templates for keeping records, such as master documents, master deeds, master insurance policies, meeting minutes, banking records, budget records. So also what you'll find is there's also like a 6D template, which is if a owner is doing refinancing or if the owner sells, one of the owners sells their place, the other condo association owners has to say that they don't owe any back fees or anything like that. So here's a good place to keep those type of documents, those regular kind of like master template documents in that particular location. Now we do have this separated by year, so if I hop into say year 20, you'll notice all of these different kind of documents that we have, bank statements, there's bills and invoices, budgeting, general documents, insurance, ledgers, meeting minutes. And once you have it fairly organized here, it's actually fairly easy to sort out when there's issues that come up or discussions. So the first step is really to get this Google Drive up and running, get it organized. For example, I'll copy each one of these to like 10 years so that you have a 10-year running folder structure for that organization. Now, the second thing is the employee identification number. So I will have the link in the description area. So this is the irs.gov, and you'll notice here it's apply for the employee identification number, and it's a fairly simple and easy process. You'll see here it's apply online now. And for the employee identification number, it does actually have a choice for homeowners association or condo association. So luckily, because I keep good records here, in the master document, I actually have a record of applying for this. So you could see once you click on this particular button here to apply online, it will go through a series of questions, and you could see these screens where here it gives you the different type of entities, whether it's estate, trust, corporation. You should click view additional types, in which case it will have this homeowners and condo association. And once you have that, basically, it goes through and it asks you what's the address of the building, who's the primary contact, and stuff like that. And at the end, it'll give you an employee identification number. So record that, create a PDF, save it as a PDF, keep that letter, and put it in the records. So you'll notice here I do have the records here. And now, once you do that, the third step and final step is really to create and use the EIN number, the employee identification number, and go get your bank accounts. So the third and final step is really to go to a bank. Now, you could have an online bank, or you could go to a local brick and mortar bank, and you have to open up two bank accounts. One is the reserve account, and then the other one is the operating account. So the operating account is where you pay your bills from, whereas the reserve account, usually you keep emergency funds in there. So a typical rule of thumb, and I believe this is even by law in a lot of states, is that you have to keep 10% of your annual budget in your reserve account. So for example, if your annual budget to pay your water bill, or pay certain snow removal, or any normal annual fee that needs to be paid out. If, for example, that's $5,000, 10% of that is $500, so you should have $500 in your reserve account. Or if you have a particular repair that you have on your building and all of the owners agree to it, you might want to save up in that reserve account. So that reserve account is kind of for unexpected expenditures, or planned expenditures, or emergency funds. Now, so for example, with the two bank accounts, you could have both as checking accounts. You can have one as the savings account and one as a checking account, the operating account as the checking account. And for us, we actually avoided that. We had two checking accounts because we didn't want to file taxes using the EIN number for the interest, even though the interest is so low these days that you probably will not have to pay any taxes on that particular dividend or interest that you earn. So to recap here, the first step is to get organized, get a Google Drive, create a folder structure that allows you to keep good records. And so for example here, and you probably want to keep the same type of folder structure as we have right here, which is bank statements, invoices, budget, meeting minutes, stuff like that. So that is the first step. Get organized, get a place where you would put all of these records. Get a official condo email address. Now that comes with the Gmail basically account. So once you apply for a Gmail account, you'll get the Google Drive account that is the same account name and email. And you could actually keep the contacts for that account. So if you have 3 owners or 10 owners, you could keep those contacts within your Google account for that condo homeowners association. So that is the first step. And the second step is to apply for this EIN number from the IRS. Simple, everything is done online. And then the third step is to basically open up the bank accounts, the operating account and the reserve account, and then get checks in case you have to pay some bills with checks. We do most of our stuff online, so we don't have to worry about it. We do use Capital One as our bank account because there are no fees usually for online banks. So you want to choose a reputable online bank. Capital One, Discover Bank also helps with minimal fees. Some of the bigger brick and mortar banks you might want to avoid. But that's really it. That is how you create a homeowners association that will help you out when you actually have to show the documents for any official business you've been doing. And that usually happens when you refinance or any one of the owners refinance. They will need the master deed, they will need the master insurance policy. So all that we keep in the master documents. They will need the 6D homeowners association letter. So it's a good place for all of the condo owners to communicate. You could run Google Meetings out of this. So it's just going to be very handy just having that organization. So I guess that's really it. Our homeowner associations have been using this for 4 or 5 years. It's worked well for us. And again, this is good for a limited number of owners. But that's really it. That's really what I want to mention. And I hope this helps. And please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.